Before we begin this week's podcast episode, we are introducing a new member to the podcast. His name is Goonie. When we hit 50,000 subscribers, we will absolutely annihilate him.
God damn it.
Thank you.
Well, the show fucking sucks, Jace.
Well, who even watched this shit?
Wait. It gets better after the 27th season.
We all remember where we were when the meteorite that killed the dinosaurs struck. Much like the Magic the Gathering card, Meteorite, it entered the battlefield and dealt 2 damage to the mother dinosaur.
Any target.
Its target was the mother dinosaur,
That's pretty.
whose death caused widespread shutdown of all the dinosaurs. Today, we're talking about mana rocks. I'm Rafa.
And mana bases.
And today,
And
fuck. Marissa, roll it back.
fuck you, Linda.
I'm just kidding. Welcome to Kitchen Table Cable. I'm Rafa.
Derek again.
And I'm Jace.
Again.
And today, we are talking about mana rocks. Just as Rafa said in the
And
intro.
mana bases.
God
Mana bases.
Today,
Okay, mana bases. Stop.
Don't
Mana
touch Goonie.
Mana bases and mana rocks today. Okay. So, what are they? Why they're important? How we build them? What do we do with them? Who
And-
the hell knows? No idea.
And why we put them in our decks.
Why do we put them in our...
Yeah.
Because we have to have mana to cast spells, Rafa.
Do we?
This isn't Pokemon. Well, you need energy. This isn't Flesh and Blood.
That's energy too.
Fuck. This isn't
Charades.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay.
Did you say it's fucking charades?
Anyways.
Jesus. Okay.
Mana rocks
so,
and mana bases.
mana rocks and mana bases, right? Gotta have mana. Gotta cast our spells. Gotta do our things.
Yep.
Let's
They're in-
talk about it.
They're in pretty much every deck.
Let's talk about it. Oops, all spells. Maybe not. No mana bases. Maybe. Okay. So, start us off, Rafa.
Start us off.
Yeah.
What's on our first card, Derek?
why don't we let Goonie go first?
Yeah. Goonie, take it away.
On 9/11.
God damn it, Jace.
We gotta cut that part
Okay.
out anyway. I
No, we
sneezed.
don't.
No, we
I
don't.
sneezed.
Ryan, we'll
I,
just cut
I
your
hardly
audio.
I hardly cut anything in these things.
Just cut your audio. Okay. Okay. So,
Why-
right.
so-
Getting serious, right?
Getting serious.
So why?
Why is it important to have mana rocks and a good mana base?
Correct. Yes. Why is it important to have mana rocks in general and a good mana base?
Well, I mean, we joked about it before, but casting spells is important.
Okay.
And Commander is a very linear format,
Mhm.
where turn 1 is exponentially worse than turn 2
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
because it goes up exponentially.
Okay.
Turn 1 will be far less impactful.
Impactful. Okay.
Then
I see
turn
what you're saying. I
two,
see what you're saying.
You'll have more weight, double the
Jason's
resources.
Just slowly leaning into me.
You-
But okay, so turn
Marissa?
one. Turn one is
Turn-
much less impactful than turn two.
then turn 2,
and,
turn
and
2,
it
and then
exponentially goes up. Okay.
turn 3 is
Okay,
better
yeah,
than
I
turn
got
2,
it, I
turn
get it.
4.
Yeah.
You're going to have, a rise in resources
Sure.
to cast your bigger spells, which is why we
Sure. Okay.
we say the game ends on turn 7 around.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Didn't know that.
Because, well, that's
Casual EDH?
Casual EDH.
Okay.
Casual.
Sure.
In CDH, it's turn 1.
Ooh.
It's a turn 1 to 3 format.
A 3. The
Three.
game is
Actually,
decided by turn 3. The game is decided by turn 3.
It's a different episode, but
Okay, sure, that's a different episode. But in general,
in
okay.
general, your resources
general.
in Casual Commander, leaving CDH out of this, that's its own different thing.
Yeah.
In Casual Commander, this is older data, and I'd have to do some more research
Okay.
into current days. But typically, your average Commander game ends on turn 7.
Okay.
Or around turn 7.
That seems super early.
No, well, the idea with a good mana base, and decent mana rocks, you're able to churn out these many spells in one turn or bigger spells in turns.
But my Atali costs 6. He doesn't win next turn.
Well, Derek, put a Soul Ring in your fucking deck.
That's true, and cast him on turn 4.
Yeah, see?
Okay.
So,
Okay, so-
they let you cast your spells way earlier than
Way
you
earlier.
normally would.
Right.
And,
yeah.
and that's
then,
really just mana rocks that I'm talking about.
Yeah,
A
and I mean,
good-
I was going to say, tacking onto that, your color fixing as well. Your color
Yeah.
fixing are going to let you
It-
cast your spells earlier and on more, on time, if you want to look at it that way or anything like that. because you have all of the colors that you need, right? I need blue and green. I have a mana base that allows me to get blue and green.
I'm sorry, I just thought of a funny joke. I'm sorry. I need to be serious.
I mean, if you're just gonna spend this entire episode over here giggling, it's not gonna work out,
Let
Jason.
me get it out.
Okay. So, yeah,
Let me.
Okay. So adding to your point.
Yeah.
Right. So colors help that too, right? Making sure you cast all your spells on time, making sure you have all the right color for your pips and everything. So
True. I
I
mean,
do agree with both of them.
in our deck building heuristics episode, that is
Hey, what is that word?
We reference that episode all the time.
we talk about the word heuristics all the time. In episode 2, we talked about
Italian. Jace thinks it's Italian. I think.
it might be.
Fuck, I have the hiccups.
Fucking meatballs, dude.
In episode 2, we talked about
Give me 2 seconds.
like
I really have the hiccups.
Jace, leave him alone.
Bro.
All right.
Okay.
Welcome back.
Roll it back, Marissa.
Roll it back, Marissa.
Okay.
Throw it back, Linda.
She's definitely calling HR.
Welcome back.
Why welcome back? They don't know that we've been gone.
They do now.
They do now.
Okay, so anyway, to get to okay.
Why are you laughing, bro?
Couldn't tell you why. So,
Jace,
why are they important?
why do you have anything to add?
Oh, that's what I was
Why-
going to say
What were you gonna
before we cut.
say? Okay, sure.
I was going to say in episode 2 we talked about the amount of lands in our mana bases, and
Sure.
of course we talked about as well like how many mana rocks and things. You know what? I lost
You
my
lost your
point.
train of thought. I knew that's what was gonna happen.
Just like the dinosaur train. Today's episode is sponsored by PBS Kids.
Jesus Christ. Anyways,
okay.
they're important. Casting spells is good.
Casting spells is good.
I did
It's
hear.
important.
I did hear that was good.
Okay.
I don't know about you, Derek. but-
Okay. So when obviously they're important.
Mhm.
Okay, they're important. So besides them being important, how do we then decide, or how do we build? No, hang on. Okay, yeah. Let's back up a little bit. Roll it back.
Roll it back, Marissa.
Linda, fuck, dude.
Every single time.
You and Linda
It's all her fault.
better
bro.
get a room.
Okay, so obviously mana is important. Having colors is important.
Yes.
Ramping, kind of going into the mana rock discussion, important, right?
Yeah.
The game's supposed to end by turn 7. We do our things. You know that the game's gonna be wildly different from somebody who plays 3 mana rocks in the first 7 turns versus somebody who plays none.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, clearly.
Um,
And then to add to that point, same thing with mana bases and colors and stuff like that, right? You play
Yeah.
a bunch of colorless lands in your 4-color deck, and you end up only having half of your colors. It's
Exactly.
not going to work out.
Mhm.
Okay, so
which is why at the end I have something
Ooh.
something planned, a discussion that I really want to have with you guys.
okay,
But we'll get there.
I like discussing things. Okay, so next little tidbit. Then obviously they're important. We know
Yes.
that we got to have mana. We got to have our colors. Yada yada yada. So, how do we prioritize building or upgrading our mana base and our mana rocks?
Jace?
Ooh, so this is something that I really push for to be in the episode, and it's a really important thing, right? When I throw a deck together, I don't really consider the mana base until last thing, and that's just a habit of how I build decks, right? I look at these cool cards, I pull them out. This is, this is what we're rolling with. I don't go, okay, well here's these lands. I gotta have this mana base. It's what can I throw together,
Okay.
and that's not a good or a bad thing, right? That's just something.
It's kind of what I do. I mean,
Yeah.
as I'm going through my stuff, I'm building a 2-color deck. As I'm going through my stuff and we're looking through the bulk and we're going through, I'll pull out the lands that are available,
Yeah.
and then I'll go through and I'll fix my mana base at the end.
Yeah.
Right, because I look at
So it's
how many lands to play based on my curve, based on my colors, all that stuff.
so you'd be able to agree it's part of the latter end of the process. You
It's
would think.
the last step for me.
The last step, right?
Mana base is the last step for me, right? But again, because of how important it is, right? I want to make sure I have enough colors to cast all my spells. I have enough lands to cover my pips. I need to go through and find out what lands I have, right? I'm not putting shocks and fetches and triumphs and all that in every single deck.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I'm just not. So with all those things in mind, then yeah, I build a mana base based on what the deck looks like. Again, curve, number of lands to play. I try to decide how many lands to play early on because that'll determine how many non-land cards I get to play, right? So I start out at 38. So I say, okay, 38, and I go through and I start building the deck. And as I go through, and let's say I'm building a mono green elves deck, I'll start, noticing, I'm putting in 12 mana dorks. Okay, let's cut my mana base down to 34, and then keep going. And then at the end, I may end up at 32,
I got you.
31, 30, whatever. But it is still the last thing that I build for the deck.
Yeah, I'm a very, very similar way. I mean, I kind of go as I go, but depending on the deck, things are a little different. Colors is one that whenever I think about mana rocks, colors, like, do I need a thought vessel because I'm drawing a bunch of cards, or would I rather go up to the 3 mana rock and play a decanter of endless water?
The three mana rock thing is going to be a discussion for later in this episode that I'm
Don't
really
spoil it, Jace.
I was going to say, Rafa mentioned it earlier. You weren't supposed to say shit.
Oh.
We're supposed to be surprised.
We're supposed to be surprised?
Guys, act surprised.
Fuck's sake.
Goonie,
Whoa.
act surprised.
Ooh, discussion?
Discussion.
Yeah.
But
okay.
in a 4-color deck and 5-color decks as well, you want to prioritize making sure you have all of your colors.
Yes.
4-color decks in general, like, you really need to have your colors. It's a little different than being in all 5 colors, I've found.
Yeah.
But
4 colors is different than being in all 5 colors?
Yeah.
How so?
In 5 colors, you have access to green, which is like the universal
the ramp
mana fixer,
color,
the ramp
okay,
color.
sure.
And even if you are in that a 4-color combination with green in it, you still need to make sure that you also have equal parts white, equal parts whatever the other color,
Okay.
black, red,
Yeah.
blue.
Okay.
Because in most of those decks, you kind of need them all equally, versus in the 5-color deck, you really need green most, because that can help you with your Kodama's Reaches, Rampant Growths, Nature's Lore, grab all your Triomes and everything.
Sure.
And that will fix your colors for you.
Yeah, and the other thing that I was going to mention is most mana dorks they tap for green.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
you have your Avacyn's Pilgrim, your Bird of Paradise, your, all of that stuff, Elves of Children, whatever. Most of them do tap for green, though.
Yeah.
So that obviously plays a part as well.
Yeah. Speaking of 4-color mana bases, when I was going through lands for my Aragorn deck the other day, I definitely pulled out a Woodland Woodland Cemetery.
Oh, yeah. He was like, Rafa, take a look at this pile of stuff I got from my Aragorn deck. And I go, Jace, what's this? He's like, I need all the dual lands, right? Motherfucker had a green-black land in his not black deck.
Why? Like it was in the deck?
Yeah.
Judge!
I mean, I have an Aragorn deck, too, and that
Hey,
deck...
I have an Aragorn deck, too.
No way.
No way, guys.
Maybe we should have a game where we play...
Mine's special.
I'm special.
You are. We gotta find a 4th person that has an Aragorn deck, though. So
Bart has an Aragorn deck.
Bart?
Yeah, yeah.
Shit. Okay. Okay.
I think that's it. But,
So,
anyway, but like,
okay.
the Aragorn deck, I have to prioritize all those gold lands because I need, as in my version, at least, I need all 4
your
of those
deck is
colors.
bullshit.
It's silly. But I need all 4 of those colors readily on hand because the deck uses them equally.
Right.
Versus
Right.
my Atraxa deck, new Atraxa, it's really a big mana kind of deck where I don't need...
You need the green more than anything.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Okay, so let's kind of walk through the process then of building a mana base.
Okay.
Okay, so for example, let's take I'm going to be unbiased here, a Grixis deck.
Okay.
And
Grixis has been falling into the same category as Simic for me.
yeah,
Which is just pick a value engine.
that's fucked up.
It is. I mean, Mishra is the outlier because it's specific to
There are
artifacts.
so many good Grixis commanders that do different things.
I know, but
But
they all do similar things.
But yeah, jokingly, right? Obviously, Grixis
Yeah.
is my favorite. But okay,
Anyway.
so let's say we're building a Bant deck. Okay, so we're building Bant. Okay, so let's talk about a mana base.
Okay.
Let's kind of go through how we build a mana base. What are we looking for?
Well,
Pain lands. Pull
what
them
are we
out
doing?
right away.
We definitely want planes.
We want
Maybe
okay.
a few
Besides
forests
okay,
a
let's get to
couple
the
islands.
basic discussion at the end, fucker. let's
I
get to the
actually have some a hot take on basics. But anyways,
Okay, so let's get to the basic discussion at the end, right? So obviously we're gonna play some amount of basic island, forests, and plains.
Some
obviously.
amount.
Right, some amount,
I mean, I agree with Jace.
whatever that may be. Right.
Painlands, they're pretty affordable nowadays. Some of them are up there, like Art Car Waste is like $3-4, but I feel like
Yeah.
they're just
The rest
such,
of them are
okay.
still,
they're such good options.
especially
They-
the ones that are been reprinted
Yeah.
like forever. Like
That's,
Shiv and
that's
Reach,
true.
Yummy Mycos are
It's
still
funny.
50 cents.
It's funny you mentioned the Painlands though, because Bant has the two most expensive Painlands.
Exactly.
in it.
Brushland and a Darker Waste
and a Darker Waste
are both about $2 to $3 each. A Darker Waste is almost $4.
I think Brushland's $4 now. I think.
With the Lord of the Rings deck,
The Lord of the Rings one might have gone down. Okay.
yeah, it's about
But-
$2.
But okay, so we have we're building a Bant deck, right? White, blue, green. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So first thing we're going for is we're pulling out Painlands.
Yep.
Actually, we talked about Triumphs in the beginning a little bit. It being a little expensive.
The Bant
Spara's
Triumph
headquarters is actually
It's cheap.
pretty affordable.
It's one of the cheaper ones.
Depending on your budget, of
Mainly
course.
because Bant
Plus
sucks.
you can
This
plus
is,
you can
this is
nature's
true.
one
It's,
for it.
that is also a hot take. It's just there's not a lot that's going on.
I have a Bant deck.
I'm building a Bant deck.
Mine's not legal, because you're in.
Oh well,
It's 120 cards. It's actually fun.
what the hell?
Yeah, it's actually fun. But
But anyways,
okay.
white, blue, green.
So
the
3-color
Painlands,
deck, we have a Triumph we can play.
Yeah,
Okay.
affordable.
So-
we also have another Triumph
It's
that's
affordable.
not a actual Triumph, not
The
fetchable.
layer.
The layer.
Trevor's layer.
Oh, there is the layer. I didn't think about that.
Okay.
But there's also I'm talking about the tap land.
Stinky
Wow.
layers are
Seaside Citadel.
Oh, from Cons.
Yeah. No, that's from
Shards of Alara.
Alara.
Yeah, Shards of Alara.
Seaside
That's right,
Citadel.
right.
That's the
Okay,
you know,
so your
that's-
your tap tri-land. I mean, yeah, in a casual deck, I'm playing it.
Yeah.
Right? Why wouldn't you?
Mhm.
Right. Short comes into play tap. This isn't CEDH though. Tap lands are fine. On turn 1, if I don't have a Soul Ring, playing a tap land is great.
Well, even if I have a Soul Ring, I'm playing it turn 1.
Mm,
A Soul Ring
Yeah.
or the tap land?
cringe
The
move.
tap land.
Cringe move.
Ooh.
What am I
That-
doing with the
it
mana
all-
on turn 2?
Cringe
It all
move.
depends.
Yeah, it all depends on what's in
It
my
all
hand.
depends. If I have a Cultivate in hand, I'm gonna play the Soul Ring on turn 1 because then I can play the tap land on turn 2.
There is that.
Right.
Um,
So it all depends.
generally, I mean, I'm not doing much on the first couple of turns
Sure,
unless
right.
it's like
And that's
hardcore
why-
artifact. stuff,
Yeah, the tap
and-
lands are fine. Right. So your Triome, your Seaside Citadel, 100%.
Right.
I'm grabbing those. Okay. So then we look at. So then we go to duels.
Duels.
Right. So we grab Painlands.
yeah.
Okay. What else are we looking at?
So
With Ravnica Remastered coming out next year,
Okay.
Shockland should be
Shockland.
Shockland
you
should
can probably
be-
get pretty cheap.
pretty cheap.
But no, right now I would not invest in Shocklands.
Yeah,
Right now.
I mean, what are they? 12 for
They're-
those colors? They're what? 12 to 14 bucks a piece. Probably?
just about. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
probably.
what is Temple Garden's $10?
Hollow
Yeah.
Fountain is the cheapest one.
Oh, that's true. What's the
And it
other
didn't
one?
used to be, but it's just not
Oh,
played in
Breeding
Modern
Pool.
anymore.
Breeding Pool is like $20 still.
Yeah, Breeding
Yeah.
Pool's like $20.
The
but-
bluey greeny ones will do
Mhm.
that to you. Let's see. What am I? Oh, I do love the Tango Lands.
I love the
Ooh.
Battle for Zendikar.
But there's
Yeah.
only two you can
There is
buy.
only 2. That's still fine. Because I
there's
can
only
you know what I
two.
can get them with? Crows and Verge.
Ooh.
Green White has reawakened my love for
Okay.
Crows and Verge.
Okay.
Okay.
I do wish that there was a set of those.
Yes,
I do wish there was a set of the
Um,
Tango Lands as well.
me too. And I
100%.
thought they were gonna do that, but they did Pathways instead. Anyways,
Pathways.
Pathways are bad, but
No, I said better.
Whoa,
Well-
I hate Pathways.
Why do you hate Pathways?
because they're
Okay, let's tangent a little bit because I'm pulling out all 3 Pathways and they're going to the deck.
Whoa!
no
100%.
way.
And a
So
3-color
Pathways
deck.
with
4-color
Pine
deck maybe not, but 3-color deck
Yeah.
100%. I'm playing Pathways.
with the 3-color deck, yeah.
Of course,
Okay,
Pathways are a little bit pricey for what they do.
they are, and
but-
that's what I was gonna say.
but if
With
you have
Pioneer, Pathways kind of spiked, because whenever cough COVID end, don't
Right.
sue us YouTube. Whenever
Right.
COVID ended, Pioneer kind of started to take off.
Yeah.
And so
Finally.
yeah,
Right,
Pathways and
But yeah,
really
I mean,
those
the pathways are definitely $6
Yeah.
to $10 a piece.
well, some
so,
of them. Like
like,
I think the
for-
black white one's like $3.
Yeah, I'm talking about for the Bant ones
Yeah, yeah,
specifically.
yeah.
They're like $6 to $10 a piece or so.
Um,
But with that being said, if you have them, you still wouldn't play them.
I do. So in my Exodus deck, in my Mardu deck, I do play all 3.
Okay. So why are they
that-
bad? They're bad because of
so-
price?
so- no,
They're
they're not
only-
bad because of price. They're bad because they're basics sometimes.
Just play basic.
No, they're not. Basics are
Basics.
basics all
They're
the time.
two-sided
Basics
basics.
are so good.
They have a land type.
No, they don't. Oh, basics do.
Basics
That
have a
means
land
they're
type.
worse.
The what's it called?
For Tango lands.
That's true. But the pathways don't.
That's true.
And so like if I it's a weird conversation because if like I need a certain color, I only have that color, and so if I need the other color, I can't get it.
Sure, right. And I was going to say that's the discussion to have, and I think that's where kind of Jace was leading.
Yeah.
And then
Was that what you're going
it's
to
a
say? Jace?
two-color
Yeah,
land.
Just play basic. Come on.
It's a two-color land, but it only ends up being one color when you play.
True. If they
Which
were
is true.
$3 cheaper, I would start putting more in my deck.
But I mean, if they were $3, they would be in every single deck constantly. Right?
But because
for me,
they're in that weird spot where like I don't want to spend $7 on
Sure.
a land that's coming in as one color half of the time.
Yeah, when you can
Sure,
spend
that's
$7 on a
true.
battle bond land.
Now I'm
That's-
playing them in
that is
X's
true.
because it's the same thing with the Aragorn deck. I need all those colors as soon as I need them.
I like the option. Right. I love having a dual land that comes into play untapped, and it always comes into play untapped.
I got you.
Yeah, it's only one color whenever you choose, but you get to choose, so you can work around that, right? If I open my opening hand is, a duel and one of each of my basics, I can play that. I can play my pathway on turn 3 after drawing a few cards and figure out what I need to do. And I love that. It's great.
And it's really good at.
Fantastic.
I mean, I'm not saying pathways are bad. I'm just saying they're awkward.
They're
They're
awkward,
really
for
good
sure.
for getting. I think they're really where they shine is getting you the second pip.
Yes,
So like if you need
Yes.
double white, you have that green-white pathway. You can play
Agreed.
on white.
agreed.
And then if you're playing bounce lands, they get a little better.
Okay.
Because then
Because
you
you can
have that
reset 'em.
option to choose and reset them.
I like that too.
Now, talking about bounce lands, what do we think about bounce lands?
Suck. Bad. Unless you're in a landfall deck. Bad.
Everyone that we named just they suck. They're
Yeah,
bad.
that's
Right.
Jace. He's
So
a-
There is one I do
Karoo
want to bring up
lands-
in a sec.
So
after
Karoo
this.
lands are interesting. I don't think they're in the position now that they were 5 to 10 years ago, where you had everybody played them in every deck.
That's what
Right.
really this whole episode is about. Is like
We've
5
had
years
changes.
ago.
Yeah, we've had changes. There's so many new land cycles and stuff like that.
And there's so many
Now-
options.
Now, I do like them in certain decks.
Yeah.
Right. Again, I don't care about they coming into play tap part.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that you can work around. That's something you can deal with. I like to play it in a deck that has a good number of ETB utility lands.
I got you.
Right. So Bajuka Bog, your Mystic Sanctuary,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of stuff. I like to play with those kinds of things. I like it with some of the like the Ixalan flip artifacts that flip into lands.
Okay, that's interesting.
Right. So have a couple decks where I run a couple of those, and it's like the one that ETBs and give somebody 2 plants or whatever, and it turns into
Dude, Dowsing Decker's so good.
right. And if you can utilize those tokens, you're playing something like Grismold,
Yeah.
and you want to give somebody tokens or whatever. You can just care about things dying. That's a way to reset and stuff like that. So I mean, it just kind of depends.
Yeah, I agree.
Don't play it in there. I don't play it in every
I
deck.
100% agree. It's the same thing with me. Like, even in my league deck, which is as budgeted as it gets. Well, not as it
Right.
gets, but even in my league deck, I cut them for other lands.
Yeah,
Because
I don't.
in a lot of decks, like Jace said, it landfall decks are really good.
True. Yeah,
You know,
landfall
if you
decks is
need
where they
that-
shine.
That double land trigger. Sometimes you can get more. Especially if you're like in Jund, you can chain them with like a what's it called, the Cultivator Colossus.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
that's kind of where they
So-
shine.
So that.
And
Anything
especially
with if you're playing Amulet of Vigor, I mean, we're not
That's
playing
true.
modern, but
Arkalos. If he's
Arkalos.
untapped, all of your bounce lands come in untapped,
Yep.
and
Yep.
so you can kind of get away with like an Amulet Titan kind of situation.
Right.
Or if you're able to untap your lands, like nobody plays Magus of the Candelabra anymore for good reason.
That card sucks.
The card sucks,
That card
but
sucks, Papa.
if you
And
have,
more. Was it played before?
yeah,
Just
Um,
skip the Magus and just play Candelabra.
yeah,
Candelabra.
it's what, $6,000.
Yeah, probably. Probably. But okay, so Karoo lands highly
Alright.
dependent on deck.
That's true.
Okay.
This next set of lands, super slam dunk. The battle bond lands are cheap as fuck right
Oh, Battle
now.
Bond lands,
That's
100%. Battle Bond.
Dude.
What do you call them, Base? The crowd lands?
The
Crowd lands, yeah,
Mhm.
that's
I-
what some people call
I-
them.
I like that
Crowd
name.
lands, Battle Bond lands.
I call them Battle Bond lands because I can't remember what just
Crowd
cost them.
lands.
Yeah, I honestly think they should be in every single precon. I
They-
don't
They
understand
have
why
been
they're
in
not.
some of them
I
recently.
don't. I know.
Have
some
they?
of some of
It was
them.
in the Elves Precon.
Some
I
of
know for a
them.
fact.
I guess, yeah.
The Elves precon came with one.
I guess
I
with
think each of the Lord of
Universes
the Rings
Beyond,
one came with one.
That's true.
Not 3 or 4, whatever their colors are, but one.
What's the Undergrowth Stadium? I think was in the Hobbits one.
Yeah, the black
Um,
green one. I think the Knights one is spectator seating.
Yeah.
One. I don't one in
I
the
know,
Elves deck.
it's-
It makes
it's-
sense because it's 2 colors, but the other ones, why is there only one?
It's Training Center in the Jeskai one.
Training center.
Yeah, it's the blue-red one.
Okay.
But they're super cheap now. Commander Masters, they're like $2 a piece, and then Battle for Baldur's Gate, they're like $4 to
Baldur's
$6.
Gate, yeah,
Mhm.
100%. Yeah, Battle Bond lands are right. Essentially, I'm pulling my Bant deck. I'm pulling my 3-color lands. Sorry, and as soon as I'm done with my 3-color lands, all my Battle Bond lands.
Plus, I'm pretty sure the Battle Bond lands for this 3-color deck are the cheapest, right? Because Promenade is super cheap.
What is this
The
one? Rejuvenating
Rejuvenating
Springs.
Springs is also super cheap because it was in that
And
pre-con.
Blue,
And that
white,
was
Sea of
pre-con.
Clouds.
And then Sea of Clouds
Sea of
is also
Clouds,
pretty
yeah.
cheap.
Yeah, because it was in Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
So, yeah, super cheap. 100% play them. Cool.
When the Battle Bond came out, not really. Like
They were
they
still
were
super
chase
expensive.
cards. They
Yeah.
were $15, $20
That's what
each.
I mean. Basically, you were opening Battle Bond for the lands
Yeah.
and a doubling season.
They were 40. I remember
Yeah.
they were $40
Morphic
before
Pool
Battle for
was like
Baldur's Gate.
$40, $60. Luxury Suite.
I
as
remember
well.
opening one whenever on our first league when we were doing packs and opened up a red green one. I'm like, shit, this thing's $38.
Yeah, Ferris and I got Morphic Pools in ours, and we were stuck in blue black.
Right. Man.
But yeah, right now with how cheap they are, it's the same thing with like the Triumph. You know, find the cheap ones, and even some of the
100%.
Triumphs are going down, like the other colored ones.
Yeah, Korea ones are
Um,
going up. The new ones are going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But still,
okay.
you know, as of right now, they are what I would say viable for casual commander.
Okay. So let's not necessarily go through every dual land cycle because there's a bunch.
Yeah.
Filter lands.
Well, this is just the
Right.
stuff we
Well-
So
when we're building
your
a
check
mana
lands,
base.
your fast lands.
I like check lands. I don't like filter lands.
See, they're growing on me. I don't like them as much as maybe some other people, but they are growing on me.
can
The
see
other
it.
ones that are kind of growing on me are the Signet lands. I used to hate those.
I'm
But-
still iffy on those.
But but Signets are also growing on me. I used to hate Signets and only play Talismans.
Oh, well, I
And
mean-
Signets are growing on me too, and the lands are, yeah, and in a lot of cases are actually pretty good. But okay, so if we're building a Bant deck, right? Let's assume we're playing 36 lands.
Sure.
Okay, so how many of those? Let's kind of, I guess, jump to the end here. How many basics are we wanting to play? Because that will then determine how many dual lands you're going to play, how many utility
in a
lands.
3-color deck.
In a 3-color deck, we're playing Bant.
Four
We're
of
playing
each.
36 lands. We're playing 4 of each basic. That's where you start out?
That is me. 4 of
That's
each
you,
base.
4 of each
12
basic?
basics in a not CDH casual deck.
Okay.
I don't know, somewhere around 15, 16.
15, 16 basics?
How about you, Derek?
I'm under the impression that we should play more basics
Okay.
because there are a lot of cards that like yoink basics out of your deck. A lot of new cards we get
Sure.
that just grab a lot of basics.
It's dependent on the commander what the deck wants to do.
Yeah.
For sure. If you're playing a lot of ramp spells, yeah, you gotta have a lot of basics, right?
Mm.
But if I'm playing a normal deck that doesn't go out of its way to pull lands out of the deck specifically, if it isn't doing that kind of gameplay or anything, I'm looking to play 6 to 9 basics maximum.
Ooh.
That's really low.
Maximum, right? And that's assuming that I'm not playing. I've kind of jumped off of the Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic Expanse train.
I can see that.
In 4-color decks, I still like them.
I don't like them in 4-color decks. I'd rather have, if I can spring for it, fetches,
Sure.
or I would have
Sure.
a dual land that
But
serves the purpose.
if I'm contemplating playing Evolving Wilds, Terramorphic Expanse, they will now never go in any 2-color deck. They basically don't go in 3-color decks. 4-color decks is where I'm like, okay, it gets me one of 4 colors. I could see playing it then.
I don't
Right,
put them in
5-color
2-color
deck.
decks, 1-color decks, unless I need the landfall trigger.
Right.
But I mean, even in my Titania
But-
deck, I don't play them. But
So with that being said, right, I'm assuming that I'm playing, besides mana rocks, I'm playing 4 ramp sources probably to pull lands out of the deck, and I'm comfortable with 9 basics at max.
yeah, so in green, I
At
mean, we
max.
have Kodama's Reach, Cultivate,
your
Nature's
lore,
Nature's Lore, 3
Rampant
Visits,
Growth,
and Rampant Growth.
3 visits,
Um,
Farseek, my favorite one.
Steve.
I love Steve. Yeah, I love the Autumn one from Time Spiral.
Edge of Autumn.
Edge of Autumn.
Oh, that one's
Edge
cute,
of Autumn.
I don't like that
That
card.
one's cute.
Why don't you like that card? It does what you want it to do at every point in the game.
In a casual Gitrog monster deck,
for sure. But like early game, it's a ramp spell, and late game, it's not dead. When I don't need the ramp, it draws me a card. When I need the ramp, it ramps me.
well, true. In late game, you probably can't use it for ramp.
Yeah, you have to cycle.
Because you don't have any basics.
Well, no, because it's what you can only play Edge of Autumn if you have like 3 or more lands.
What? No, it's 4 or less.
So on turn 5, if I hit all my land drops, I can't play it.
Correct. And then it can draw you a card. So
And
now
I
it's
can- and then
dead
I
as
can
a ramp
regrowth
source.
it, and then
Now it's dead as a ramp source, so I can use that to draw a card.
I see your reasoning. It's the preordain argument, but
Ooh, what's the preordain argument?
that you,
For another- okay,
well,
that's
it's for another time. I'll tell you after this. But,
Okay, so
anyways,
so I'm looking at like 6 to 9 basics because, right, I want to play utility lands on top of my dual lands.
I got you.
tri-lands and
We
stuff
haven't
like
talked
that.
about utility lands. We talked a little bit about it in our deck building heuristics
episode.
episode.
So
But
some
we haven't
utility lands,
mentioned
yeah.
utility lands.
So Bant.
Put in emergent
I-
zone and call it a day.
I'm not
Sure.
going to stay on the
Sure.
basics talk a lot, but I play a lot more basics because they're, like I said, if you're in green, probably playing the ramp cells we mentioned. Plus, there are a lot more effects that your opponents will have that give you basics now. Path of Exile being a
Okay.
new staple in every commander deck, not everyone, but
In a
it's
lot.
being printed in precons. It's being
Mm-hmm. It's not a lot.
it's dropped to about $1 each.
Assassin's Trophy.
Assassin's Trophy. There is Demolition Field and the new one that I cannot
The
remember.
new Demolition Field. That's
which
true.
which has seen a rising trend. People are playing those because there are a lot of cool utility lands now.
Right.
which is
so
a good
I can,
segue
and
to
so I can use it to
utility
kill
lands.
my
Strip mine
opponent's
goes in
Gaia's
every
Cradle.
deck.
No.
Sure, if I have a strip mine,
Um,
it would probably go in every single deck.
did we sell our strip mine?
It still taps for mana.
Our
It's great.
Venezuelan strip
Our
mine?
Venezuelan strip mine? Did we sell it?
I think we still have it. Let's take
Yeah.
a momentary break to go fetch this Venezuelan strip mine.
No, let's not.
No,
Okay.
but you know what we should do?
What?
We should tell our listeners about the utility of this video sponsor.
Well, before we do that, show off this right here. We got some Force of Will Gaming merch right here. Force of Will Gaming T-shirt.
No, this way. It's on
Hell
my.
yeah.
You
Hell
can
yeah.
probably
It's
see
not
like
on-
half of it.
It's not on camera at all, but
Anyways,
okay. So
Glory to
Jay, stop trying to smash Goonie.
we're gonna show the utility of a commercial break. We'll be right back.
We'll be right back.
Kitchen Table Cable is sponsored by Force of Will Gaming. For all your gaming needs, visit downtown Bastrop's premier gaming store. And also by viewers like you. Thank you.
Anyways,
All right, welcome back, everybody.
and we're back.
So for this last section of the show today, Rafa has a special treat. I think
It's not special.
brownies.
Goonie!
But okay, so Rafa,
Anyways,
Rafa's got an idea.
So when we prep these episodes, we sit around. Jace is in La La Land, and Derek and I discuss what we're going to talk about in each episode. If you can't tell, Jace is the comic relief.
Wow. You'll get there someday, buddy.
Anyways,
'Kay.
when we brought up the episode, we wanted to talk about mana bases, mana rocks. I thought it would be good to bring up the old horse that we keep kicking, which is Chromatic Lantern.
The tin roof.
Chromatic
The
Lantern.
tin roof that keeps being beaten by this
That's Jason.
monsoon. And we kind of touched on it, like, without even meaning to. We touched on 5 years ago, 10 years ago, Chromatic
Okay.
Lantern, the chase rare of the format.
Still
you know.
goes in every deck.
That's what we're here to talk about. That's what we're here to talk about, because Chromatic Lantern does not go in every deck anymore.
Chromatic Lantern
Okay.
goes in 0 decks other
No,
than...
that's not a
No.
lie. That's not true.
No, it goes in every deck that's 3 or more colors.
That's
Every deck that
Probably
isn't...
a lie.
At minimum.
Oh.
at minimum it goes in the 4-color, 5-color decks.
Jesus Christ.
No,
All right, let's
no.
go through it then.
It goes
Okay.
in one deck, and that is Send Triplets.
Shut up.
What? Okay,
Okay.
I see that. God,
No.
fucking 2014 called. They want their commander back.
Yeah, nobody fucking plays that card. It sucks now.
Yeah, Chromatic Lantern fucking sucks.
You fucking dick.
But so seriously, like,
Okay.
if your mana base
Okay.
is built right, and nowadays,
Wow. What does that? I feel attacked right now.
if your mana base is built right, you don't need Chromatic Lantern. There are better 3-mana rocks that you can play in your deck.
Boom, Staff of Completion.
Just, I'm trying to make a point.
That is...
That's true. Shut the fuck up about Staff of Completion.
Is that a mana
You,
rock?
The card
and
is
Staff of
so
Completion,
good.
and
I do
Seth
not-
in fucking File of
I
Galadriel.
do not want to
do
hear it.
not think.
It's so
File
good.
of Galadriel's good.
File Galadriel fucking
So is
sucks.
Staff of
Why
Completion
does-
is the best
wait.
3-mana rock in the game.
Is
That's
it
a
mana
lie.
rock?
It is.
Yes.
Oh, see, I didn't even know it was a mana rock.
It's what, pay 2 life to add 1 mana of any color?
Yes,
That
and then it
fucking
does
sucks.
and then it does a million other things, dude.
It taps
File,
to draw a
though.
card. What else does it do?
It like taps creatures and shit. Like it
No,
does good
that's a
stuff.
lie.
That's bad.
And let's pay 1 life to untap.
Okay,
it,
so
I
let's
think.
divulge a
5
little
life
bit.
to
This
Let's-
card fucking sucks.
Let's divulge
Now, to
a
be
little
fair,
bit.
in my Azuri deck, I did pay like 18 life to draw 2 cards.
See, that card's
Well,
good.
that's fucking. All right, all right. So backing up a little bit.
Backing
okay,
up.
so the Chromatic Lantern.
Chromatic
discussion.
Lantern.
Okay.
Like I said,
So-
if your mana base is built correctly, if you
Okay.
are able to, even scrounging, even going through draft chaff, are able to.
Just play 36 basics and it's
Yeah,
fine.
there you go. See, my mono black
But,
deck
okay.
doesn't need Chromatic Lantern.
Sure, 100%. I agree with that.
Continue.
But, right. But for me personally, the Chromatic Lantern specifically, and that's the one we want to talk about, not other 3 mana rocks.
We'll get
we
there.
want to talk about Chromatic
The Chromatic
Lantern.
Lantern
So
specifically.
Chromatic Lantern specifically, right. The reason why I like Chromatic Lantern specifically is the point that you made earlier is for pips.
Mhm.
Right. In my 3-color decks, when I need 2 white and a blue for 1 spell, it guarantees that I have the pips, the colors that I need for the pips.
To be fair,
If my mana's built right,
so that's why I say,
but-
because that's why I disagree with 3-color decks and 3-color decks are still, you're still able with dual lands that add just 2 colors, you should still be able to hit all of your pips.
but I'm playing 20 utility lands and only tap for colorless.
All right,
What do I do?
Jace.
Emergent Zone only taps for colorless, bro. I did find that out.
But okay.
It taps for mana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's for 1 colorless,
What the hell?
it's so good.
I love
It's
Emergent
busted as
Zone.
fuck.
And Dust Bowl got so much better.
What is that card?
What is that card?
I don't know. It taps to kill a land, I think, but it doesn't add any mana.
Okay.
Anyways,
My favorite land that doesn't tap for mana, we're kind of go to
Yoggle Hops.
Maze of Ith.
Oh, that's right. I guess
It's
it doesn't.
A fantastic spell.
Mhm.
It's an uncounterable.
My favorite land that doesn't tap for mana is Gaia's Cradle.
Wait a minute.
On turn 1,
It only doesn't tap for mana when you don't have any fucking creatures.
after a board wipe, Wrath of God.
But
It's,
okay. Okay.
It's Dark
So-
Relic.
Okay. So if your mana base is built right, you don't need a Chromatic Lantern.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then-
I would agree with that.
Okay.
I would agree with that statement.
And now I do see.
That's not where the discussion ends. Though,
No.
Personally.
And it's not like Chromatic Lantern is kicked out of the format.
No,
I
it
play
is.
Chromatic Lantern in my
Definitely-
fucking Aragorn deck.
It definitely is.
Why, Jace? You wouldn't play Chromatic Lantern? in anything?
There are so many better 3-mana rocks.
Okay. So,
Chromatic
like
Lantern.
what? If you say Staff of Completion,
Staff of Completion.
we're backhanding you.
Coalition Relic.
Okay, Coalition Relic. I
The
don't
other
like-
relic that untaps because of Legends.
Okay, that one is good.
That one, it doesn't untap
Uh,
because of Legends. You just get to
Relic,
tap Legends.
Relic of Ages. Is that what
Relic
it's called?
of Legends.
Relic of, is that
You
what
get
it's
to tap
called?
your legendary creatures for mana. Absolutely.
That
That's,
one's
in my
fantastic.
opinion, the best 3
Worn
mana
Power
rock.
Stone.
No,
Worn Power
Ooh,
Stone
I
is
do
good.
love Worn Power Stone.
it's a 3-mana soul ring. It's Sisay's ring.
Yeah, sure.
but Sisay's Ring is
Ring is
4
a
mana.
4 mana
Yeah,
soul ring.
I'd rather play Sisay's ring because it comes in untapped.
Nah.
Yeah.
Worn Power Stone's so good.
Worn Power
Nah.
Stone's so good.
So if you're playing both of the keys and the things that untap artifacts, sure.
Just play it.
Nah.
It's so good.
No.
It's so good. Soul Ring is busted as fuck. 3 mana Soul Ring is still busted as fuck.
Yeah, that card is still really good.
But okay. Okay,
Anyways.
so there are better 3 mana rocks.
That you can be doing, and in the first place, you don't want to be playing that many 3-mana rocks. Like there's enough. There's
Okay.
True.
Sure.
And-
there's a
and
certain
let's-
number of
so
slots
let's
for
pause there.
3-mana rocks.
Okay.
In this
So
day and
you
age,
can't play all of them.
there is a plethora of 3-mana rocks that fit your deck.
I
My favorite one, I
will
put it
agree.
on in the show notes, and my phone is being a camera right now. Show notes. In the show notes, I put a couple in there that I really liked, and I really wish I had the show notes up right
Yeah?
now. Jace, phone. Pull up the show notes. Anyways, I remember right now. Model of Unity.
Okay, well, let's get his phone out of the fucking.
Oh, it's Strixhaven Stadium too.
Wow, stay
Bro puts his phone away when I asked him to take
Right?
it.
Literally, he wants you to pull up
You
the show
said
notes.
put your phone away.
No,
you
I did not.
fucking
No, he didn't.
minge.
I said I remember
said,
it
Let's
now.
wait until he puts his phone away. But he didn't say put the phone away, fuck sake.
Okay, keep talking. Fuck stick.
Are you
Motherfucker.
really searching for Google Docs on your phone? Jeez. Oh my god.
Anyways, while he's doing that,
Well, let's
so
not leave out content that we can. leaving the video, we can edit this part out.
That's true.
Okay, so
So-
other 3 mana rocks.
Yeah, like we said, there is a there's so many
Plethora.
options. There's a plethora of mana rocks that you can choose for your deck.
Okay.
And honestly,
Like what?
you only
at 3
really
mana.
want to be playing 1 3-mana rock. I will.
Which is true. I feel like that is the formula nowadays. Now, back in our deck building heuristics episode, we didn't really talk about that.
I like 3.
3 mana rocks.
Whoa.
Yes.
This guy's playing all 3 of the clue stones in his 3-color deck.
No, I'm not. Cluestones suck. But
I don't know, I like
because there are so many good 3 mana rocks, half of them that I play, I don't look at as a mana rock.
Mhm.
Strixhaven Stadium is not a mana rock.
Yeah, I can make
It's a
an
win
exception.
condition.
I can make
Yeah.
an exception for
Right.
Strixhaven
So whenever I'm building the deck, I don't count it as a 3 mana rock. I
Mhm.
count it as a 3 mana win condition.
And that's where I'm building up to, is that because there are so many, and I kind of agree with Jace, where you really only need to play 1. Because
sure,
we have
I'm only playing one of them specifically 4 mana.
Yeah, so like my go-to package
1 to
is,
2,
Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Felwar Stone. If I'm playing multicolors, Signets and or Talismans, and then the 1 3-mana rock that I'm playing.
Commander Sphere.
I do
It's
like
in the
Commander
name.
Sphere.
Ooh.
I still play it in my Mishra
In the
deck
name.
because it's
And
got
Rafa
so
puts
much
Well, it's
value.
so good. You just
Yeah,
sack it.
you just
draw
sack it, draw a
yeah.
card.
And Rafa puts
Um,
Mana Crypt in every deck.
I put Mana Crypt in. No, I actually put Gilded Lotus in almost every deck.
Dude, I love Gilded Lotus.
I don't.
Why is that?
Why is that, Derek?
On a tangent.
God damn. Because it taps for 3 mana of 1 fucking color.
And
Oh, and Black Lotus
I
does that, and
hate
Black
that.
Lotus is a good card.
Black Lotus is 0 mana to cast Jace. It's not 5. I don't want my 5 mana rock that taps for 3 to tap for 3 mana of 1 single color.
true. And
That's why I
I
don't
played it in my 2 to 3 color deck.
Now, the Firemind Vessel, 100%.
That taps for 2
4
card
mana.
is
It comes into play
stinky.
taps for 2 colors of
That
2
card
different
is
colors.
stinky.
Come
2
on,
mana
Derek.
of different colors.
Come on, Derek. Sisei's
Sisei's
ring that comes in
ring,
tapped.
But it taps for 2
I
colors.
know. But
You guys are
I
seeing
really
how
like.
much I value my pips.
I really like in two color decks, 3 color decks maybe, but in 2 color decks, it's the Warhammer 4 mana Gilded Lotus.
Yeah, I don't know what that one is.
Dead
it's-
Throne, something Throne.
No, it's
Throne,
like
Throne.
Scepter of the
Scepter
Ages.
of the Endless Glory.
There it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 4 mana, taps for 1 mana of any color, but if you have 3 lands with the same name,
Okay.
it taps for 3.
Okay, I like that. That
See?
sounds good.
So in
That sounds good.
the less colors, Gilded Lotus I think it's better. The
For sure.
The more
For sure.
colors, it's not as great. I don't know if I have it in the Atraxa deck because
sure.
that is such high mana value.
5 is a lot, man.
5 is a lot.
5 is a lot for me to be ramping.
But if you have good mana rocks and
To
ramp in
be-
your mana base,
To be fair, in my 5 color deck, I played the Chromatic Orrery, which is 7 mana.
Chromatic. Oh, that one, yeah. But that one, okay. That one
But
has.
it's the visit, so you know.
Yeah, that and then in visit with the 2 color, thing. You kind of need to hit all your colors.
Yeah.
I'm not playing it in Aragorn because that deck's average curve is 1.
It's also like
Um,
$30.
Yeah,
Orrery is?
yeah.
Mine was free.
Tron is playing it.
Nice.
Mhm.
I like that.
Anyways, back to Chromatic Lantern.
Back to Chromatic Lantern.
I agree with
Bad card.
Jace
Okay.
that
so
1 3-mana rock.
One
and
3-mana
that's
mana
because
rock.
there are so many that fit the theme of your deck.
And there's also so many
Um,
good 2 and 1 mana.
there's
rocks.
because
Well,
there's
the good 2 and mana rocks are the same ones in every deck.
I was gonna say 2 mana rocks.
There's not much
it's
variation.
Signets, talismans, and it's all the ones that people play.
Yeah.
Sure, you can play a Thought Vessel. You can play a Mind Stone.
Mind Stone is the one I see
But,
the most. I don't hate it,
Liquid
but I
Metal
don't like
Torque
it.
is my favorite one of the colorless
Okay,
ones.
that is also my favorite.
Right, but again, those are things that you want specific. I'm not putting Thought Vessel in every deck because it's a 2 mana rock. I'm only putting in the ones that I'm going to be having in excess of 7 cards.
And most decks don't play Felwar Stone anymore.
Which is a shame.
Yeah,
I
I
do
do.
think if you're playing 2 color decks, you should be playing Felwar Stone.
Felwar Stone
Two
is
colors
the
and up,
I can
you
agree.
should be playing Felwar Stone.
Felwar Stone is the second best 2 mana rock.
Yes, I agree.
The best one is Arcane Signet.
Obviously,
We don't.
obviously.
But that's what I was saying. Like
but
most decks play, the Soul Ring, the Arcane Signet, sometimes the
Sure.
Felwar Stone,
Sure.
sometimes another one.
And you only
then-
have so many spots, yeah.
And like I said, depending on colors, Signets, Talismans, and then the 3-mana rock. So like if you're playing the voting deck, that's why I put Model of Unity on there because it does stuff with voting. And there's the
Oh, it does?
Celestis.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, there's
Celestis is fantastic.
There's a lot.
is-
There's a lot of
is a-
very
a looting
specific.
one.
If you're
mana rocks.
unfortunate,
Strixhaven Stadium.
playing a day-night deck.
Yeah. Ooh. But Strixhaven Stadium, if
Stadium.
you're playing, a lot of creatures, you're gonna want that to kill somebody, and so you don't.
Agreed.
Depending on the other mana rocks you're playing, Colton's gonna hate this episode because I love Jeweled Lotus, not Jeweled Lotus.
Coveted Jewel,
Coveted
bro.
Jewel.
I fucking love Coveted Jewel.
Coveted Jewel is so
that
silly.
card is so cool.
6 mana, draw
I
3
don't
cards, make 3 mana.
care,
It's
bro.
cool, but that's not what I want to be doing with 6 mana.
Yeah, no.
Now, I do want to be doing it in my rune deck, my Bant deck.
Excuse
because
me.
it's a blink
Excuse
deck.
me. 3 mana.
Sure. No, it is definitely
It is
6
definitely
mana.
3 mana.
That's not
It's
how you
definitely
calculate
1 mana
that.
and 1 artifact with my
That's-
Goblin Welder.
That too.
That's
That's
why-
not how you. That's not how you calculate that, Jace.
That's
you
how I
have to have
calculate
6
it.
mana to cast it.
I calculate in my Welder decks. I calculate it as a
It's-
free draw 3 cards, make
it's
3
so
mana.
good.
It's a 6 mana with a refund.
That's true.
But if it gets countered,
I
you
love
don't get a
Coveted Jewel.
refund.
And if somebody hits
I do love
they
the
get
card. Again, I do love the card. I like the politics that it adds to the game.
It makes
sure.
for silly games.
Sure.
But yeah, depending on what you're doing with your other mana rocks
But
in
again,
your
I
package,
wouldn't count that as a mana rock in the deck.
What's that? It's fun.
6 mana rock, I'm not putting it there. If I'm putting it in the deck, I'm putting it in the deck
it's
under a
Moonsun
different slot. Right, so that's going in under like a utility slot in my deck. Not a mana rock, it's going in under utility.
Now, if you're playing Displacer Kitten in your
You know,
deck,
or card draw, right? Or it's probably, it draws you 3 cards. It's a card draw spell instead. With a refund.
But anyways, the 3 mana rocks.
Karen, get out of here with your refund.
freaking Karen.
Karen's here. God damn it, Miranda.
She smells like cheese, bro.
What the hell? Anyways, I have no more real points other than saying the same thing over and over again. Other than saying the same thing over and over again.
Okay.
There are better. Jay said it perfect. There are better things to play. Sometimes,
Sure.
most of the time, than Chromatic
Sure.
Lantern.
I have Chromatic Lantern in 2 decks currently.
Wow.
2 decks. It's in Niv Mizzet,
Okay.
but Niv Mizzet is a 5-color deck, and it needs all the specific pips. Right. And I have it in my 4-color Angel deck, my Sans Blue deck.
Wow. 2015 called. It wants its Chase Rare back.
But it's good, man.
I know. And
it's
it's not
again,
like-
I don't play it for the 3 mana it taps for a color. I play it for it's 3 mana and now all my lands tap for anything.
And that's what I mean. If your lands are doing what they're supposed to do, if you are doing what you're supposed to
Yeah.
do with your lands,
But like
you don't need it.
But like the deck that I play is primarily white
Mhm.
because it's Angel focused, but I need all the other colors too.
I got
And
you.
I'm not gonna put in 12 plains, 1 forest, 1 swamp, and 1 mountain. You know what I mean?
And I see that. I mean, I played in my Aragorn deck because I need the color.
Right,
I
it
think I
plays-
played in the Hobbits deck because
Yeah.
that came with it, and
Yeah.
it's Hobbit themed.
It plays dumb shit like Book of Exalted Deeds. I need 3 white pips.
Book is silly.
Are you playing the Faceless Haven?
Yeah, that's what he told us last episode. He was like,
Yeah.
I'm playing this, so I can do stupid shit.
Yeah, so I can put my book on my Faceless Haven, and
Mm-hmm.
nobody can do anything about it.
Yeah, and so my point is, it's not like I'm not playing it.
Yeah.
But I don't.
I
need to.
agree. Okay. I agree majority of you guys' consensus, right?
All right. So, well, Jace,
What did we learn today?
what did we learn today, Goonie? No.
Bum bum
Okay,
skidoo
so
bum.
mana bases are important.
Mana bases are
Obviously,
important.
mana rocks are important.
Mhm.
Having
Right.
your colors are important. Casting your spells is important.
Right.
You don't want to be the sad sack there in your pot of 4 who draws 3 lands and no mana rocks, and you can't cast any of your spells, and
What we learned is that there's
you just die.
Yeah.
we learned that
And then you
there's-
cry, and then you yell, or you go through all 7 stages of grief, and then the conclusion is you should have played more lands.
And then you
idiot.
get kicked out of the local Walmart.
I know, right?
Why are we playing Walmart?
That's going to do it for today's episode of Kitchen Table Cable. If you like this video, go ahead and leave us a comment on what your favorite 3 mana rock is.
I like it. I'm doing 5 comments myself.
Yeah, Derek is
Personally,
going
like-
to flood the comments.
And
get
by
there
the way,
first.
I'm gonna make different accounts though, so you guys don't know that it's me.
If it says Chromatic Lantern is the best, I know it's you.
No, because I don't think it's the best 3 mana rock.
It's okay, Derek.
oh, the best one is definitely Relic of Legends.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
a-
To be fair,
eh.
that card is busted as fuck.
It is
Depends
busted.
on the deck.
I don't
Depends
think
on
it's the
deck.
best.
It depends. Ooh.
I don't
Depends
think it's
on
the
the
best.
deck.
That's a
Strixhaven
top.
Stadium, 100%.
That's a good one.
The best 3 mana rock is Coveted Jewel.
It's. All right.
Yeah.
Leave your comments below. Check out all our socials.
Make sure you subscribe. So
Comment
you
who
don't
you
miss.
voted for.
Jesus Christ. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye bye, Goonie.